All right, we are back at. Wait.
After I would move, we go back to discussion.
Thank you.
Do you need to do a roll call vote or?
Do I get a second?
Second.
Rusty seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, the same. All right, we're back in action.
I would move to accept the attorney-client the attorney recommendation and revise our social media policy as of today, February 22nd, 2024.
I have a motion. Do I have support?
Support.
We have support from Rusty. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
Okay, Commissioner Matthew,
Absolutely no.
Commissioner Hoffmaster,
Absolutely yes.
Commissioner Leininger.
Yes.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes.
Commissioner Lanius.
All right, 3-2. Yeses have it.
Commissioner, I would move that we direct our health officer to communicate with legal counsel regarding written public comment option for Board of Health bylaws.
All right, we have a motion.
Support.
We have support from Commissioner Baker. Any further discussion?
I feel this is a good option.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, it opens the door. If someone's got a legit question, they don't have the option now. Anybody can write in if this moves forward, they'd be able to write in a comment and it'd be read at the meeting.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. So we're gonna direct staff to ask legal counsel if we can have public comments either written or emailed in prior to our meeting and have those read into the minutes and out into the public atmosphere.
And Commissioner, I would just caution when we say that. Our minutes currently don't include in them what individuals state during the public comment.
Correct.
It just says that they spoke, because
Correct.
minutes legally only have to include the
Public comment.
date the meeting was, the time the meeting occurred, who was present, who was absent, and what actions were taken. That is the legal definition of minutes for Robert's Rules of Order.
Yep.
You get too much stuff, it's too cumbersome, and it's not required.
Yeah. Agreed. Commissioner Matthew.
I would like Ms. Fisher to look into the possibilities of Zoom so the citizens can call in. We spend a substantial amount for putting this video system here. I think it will be less cost than what we have done. And thank you, Mr. Chair.
I appreciate that comment. Is there consensus with that?
Well, again, that's not the motion on the floor.
Okay.
Commissioner.
Let's call the question then. So the motion on the floor is to ask staff to look into legal counsel as far as, having written in comments. All in favor with an aye?
Aye.
All opposed the same? Okay. So motion passes. Now on to real-time public comment. Is there consensus for staff to look into that avenue? Commissioner Matthews has expressed obviously wanting the staff to at least investigate that. I personally am okay with them not doing that. I would hate for them to waste their time if essentially we're not going to do it anyways.
Ms.
Just real quick. Anybody else have consensus? Hold on just a second.
I even kind enough to make a motion for that.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to address the issue of just say Zoom electronically. Our taxpayers can reach, they can speak 3 minutes each, 2 segments, and find out how much the cost is, something like that.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor. Do we have any support? Steve supports it. Further discussion.
Slippery slope what's in here.
Well, again, I think, to Mr. Hoffmaster's point, I think we're maybe having staff spin the wheels too much in that.
I mean, ADA is already out there that if you're disabled and there's a bunch of other reasoning that you can do that. I mean, that's already in play through the Open Meetings Act. So you can open up a slippery slope here.
I'm not in favor of it simply for the fact that there are a number of different avenues that the public can engage us and be a part of this board and this community. And I'm okay with those avenues. I think it's expensive for the taxpayers. I think it is, I've seen it in other avenues that other boards that I'm on, it go unused. So I'm okay with not having it.
Commissioner, my concern on the expense side is not necessarily the cost of the program. So some of those programs you could get for nothing. Well, my concern is the cost of somebody to sit back here and monitor or administer that. We're taking another agency staff person to do that when, you know, we're already maybe short-staffed across the agency. And so that's why I can't support looking at it.
Good.
Mr. Chairman,
One more, yep.
clarification about that you don't need, Mr. Chairman, another person to handle the Zoom. The same person who is controlling right now, he or she can do it. And if you need the expertise, I can give you the information. You can talk to them. Thank you.
Thank you. So right now we have a motion on the floor for staff to look into a real-time public comment. Motion was by Commissioner Matthews, seconded by Commissioner Lania. All in favor with an aye.
Aye.
All opposed with an aye. Motion fails. All right, moving on to new business, number 9.
So
A, yep.
the annual conflict of interest and disclosure policy is our area agency on aging 3C. I mentioned this in Laura's report. Some of you have already very kindly signed. If I think, okay, so I think we're all set with this and we can move on.
Very good. B, intergovernmental agreement, page 42.
And I will take this, Commissioner. Again, this is an item that we've been discussing for a while now. And this is an item that was presented and discussed at the Program Policy and Field Committee meeting yesterday morning. Starts on page 42 of our packet. And if you will look through there, the items that were changed are highlighted. On page 3 of 10 of that intergovernmental agreement. And a reminder that the intergovernmental agreement must be approved by all 3 county boards of commissioners. And so this was last approved in 2013. To be effective January 1st, 2013, it would have been approved before that. But on January 1st of next year, Board of Commissioner term for the state legislature goes to a 4-year term. And underneath article or section 6 of the intergovernmental agreement, terms of board membership, our previous language said that the terms on this board shall commensurate with Board of Commissioners' term. The sentence above it says that they're, you know, when our counties appoint us, it's a 2-year term appointment from the county to commensurate with the Board of Commissioners' terms. Well, to make this comply with the state statute that's changing January 1st, our recommendation to the board is to remove that statement that it commiserates with the Board of Commissioners' terms because it no longer will, going to a 4-year term. Still leaving it a 2-year appointment from each county to the Board of Health. That way the counties have the opportunity midway through a commissioner's term to rotate somebody else on if that need is there within each county individually. But still asking the counties to make, and the commissioners to make a 2-year commitment to the Board of Health. Because it does take some time to learn Michigan public health rules and code and stuff, and to understand the financial statements here at this agency, which are a little different than our county. The other thing underneath Article 10, finances, and if you'll remember earlier this year, we removed from our board bylaws what is the second yellow paragraph on this page, the language that says we're going to ask those counties to make those contributions on a quarterly basis. Again, that was in our bylaws that we as the Board of Health approved, but that was not in the intergovernmental agreement that the counties approved. And more concerning is the language that you'll see up there in that first paragraph that is recommending to be removed is language that says the county shall make under such terms as shall be specified by the board. And that's the board of the county.
Not us.
That's not us. And so if you look at that legally with that language that's there today, when we ask St. Joe County, Branch County, Hillsdale County for that local appropriation, legally the county board of commissioners could say, okay, we're going to pay that, but we're going to pay that on December 31st of our calendar year. Which doesn't help the Board of Health because after the 60-day window for the Board of Health to figure that calculation into, the fiscal year that the Board of Health needs that contribution. And so those are our recommendations in addition to revising the date on page 10 to January 1st, 2025. And again, our proposal and our ask is that for each commissioner to take this back to your county and say, these are items that the Board of Health is proposing that we change, and just these items. Because if St. Joe County wants to change something else,
Everybody else has.
Never else does.
everybody else has to.
Yeah.
Or we're stuck with this, or we continue to operate underneath the intergovernmental agreement that we have.
We wouldn't do that to you guys.
So with that, we'll move that we adopt the proposed changes to the intergovernmental agreement as presented, and we respectfully ask each county to approve them as presented.
I second.
We have a motion and support. Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Matthews.
I would like the Director of Finance or Health Officer, Ms. Burns, to send this copy to our all three county administrators so he or she can put that into our agenda.
Well, it's gonna have to be, so we got to.
And in that regard, I would ask that we send two versions. Number one would be this marked up version showing those changes.
Correct.
And then would be an unmarked, the version with a completed change copy that can be the copy that's approved and adopted by each county. Signed.
He wants to draft up a resolution as well.
I think that we already have one.
Yeah,
The page 1 of 10, I think, is a resolution approving that the counties would use. If memory serves me right.
I can certainly just use this language and.
Yeah.
Or just point to it.
Yep. Very good.
Yep.
Any further comments, discussion? All right, we have a motion on the floor with support. All in favor with an aye?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Nice work on that, guys. We appreciate it. All right, letter C, March Board of Health meeting schedule change.
Yeah, so right now, we will not have quorum for March. And so.
What's going on?
Everybody except for you.
You can still come by yourself.
Yeah, see, you can join us.
My wife will be going. I'm gonna get a lot of my kids. It's gonna be a fire on.
so you're going on vacation too.
Oh,
Staycation. All right, so originally we were supposed to meet on March 28th.
21st.
No, well, the 28th is when we were scheduled to meet.
Yes, that's when we were originally going to meet.
Yep.
We were talking about moving the Board of Health meeting to the 21st, Thursday, the 21st. We have Ms. Teresa's checked with the schedule for this room, so we have that taken care of. I think the majority of us can make it. Go ahead.
We have work meeting at noon. So if you can cut down the agenda, that way I can be there at least 15-20 minutes early so I can review.
Yep.
and
It's 11 o'clock now, we get a close second.
Yeah.
and I have, and I would ask the same thing because, like today, I have a meeting in Brooklyn this afternoon.
New York, huh? Where are you going?
Find a Concord,
Yeah.
I will that day as well have a meeting in Brooklyn that afternoon. So
Okay. So we'll try to keep it light. Teresa?
If I may want to talk about the next item before we firm this up. And the reason that I say that is our auditor is not available the week of the 28th, which was, or when the meeting was originally scheduled to happen, to come in and do the audit presentation. And generally, the auditors or the boards like the auditor to give them the presentation before the audit is filed with the state. The audit has got to be filed with the state by the last day of March. So if we move it to the 21st, the auditor is not available to give that presentation on that day. He could come and give you the presentation in April after the.
You mean the 28th of March? He's
not available on the 21st either because he's actually leaving for his vacation on the 21st.
I guess to that point, we really need to meet
So,
in March.
He's not going to be available on the 21st either. So if you really want to see that audit report before it gets filed to the state, then the 21st is not going to achieve that. However, whether you get the presentation or not,
Commissioner Matthews, go ahead.
you don't.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the auditor, she or he cannot be here on 21st nor on 28th. Am I correct?
Correct.
While he or she is in Fiji Island, can they zoom in that rush?
It sounds like on the 21st they're traveling.
Traveling. Airplanes, yeah.
On vacation.
Well,
Now, they did indicate that they could send a very junior member of the team to do a presentation.
A question in regards to that. Some of the other boards that I serve on, the auditor comes and presents to the finance committee. And just the finance committee, not to the full board. I guess, and so that's a question of if we want to go down that road. When we, and not that I necessarily like that.
The only problem you're gonna have with that is that I don't believe Commissioner House is gonna be back by then for March 18th, and it would literally be me and Steve, and I'm fine with it. I'm comfortable with it. I'm sure Steve is too. It's just that 2 out of the 6.
Well, so let's just be honest. You don't change
That's
auditor.
No, we don't do anything.
so does it really matter?
Right. I mean, it's truly a formula.
Yeah.
I mean, the auditor is gonna file their
No matter
statement
what we
whether
say.
we want it or
So
not.
why don't we just
Right.
wait till April?
Right.
I'm fine with that.
The April meeting?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Regular
Because it's literally gonna be the same thing. It's not like even if we have any objections, it's not gonna
Yeah.
change anything.
Right. I mean, we could be like, oh, that's false. Well,
Yeah.
if the audit was the audit.
Or can they, other than, I would say last year, we got filed with the state for Tulsa County for 2022, which is really not correct because he listed Commissioner Lanius as a county commissioner, and in 2022, he wasn't a county commissioner.
Right.
Okay, so I would ask that the auditor send us a digital copy of that.
Without
Preview.
Yeah.
Before it gets submitted to the state, so that we can read it and ask questions about something like that.
So, yeah. That sounds good.
Will do.
Definitely.
Makes sense?
Problem solved. So we're gonna have a meeting early.
So are
The
we?
21st. The agenda will probably not have, it's hard to say, right? We don't anticipate right now a heavy agenda in March, but,
Well-
to cancel it now and just say we're not gonna do it.
And
maybe
also-
we will.
And also to Rebecca's point too, kind of offline, if there are issues that are going on in the public, such as the schools, they kind of cropped up out of nowhere, we probably should get together just to make sure that we have our eye on the ball. So I'm okay with going on the 21st.
I would move we change the March Board of Health meeting from March 28th to March 21st.
Or
We have a motion and support. Any further discussion?
Yes, make it that meeting very brief.
Making it brief, according to Tom Matthews.
that's all up to you.
Yeah. Just to be clear, the finance committee meeting is on the 18th. Steve, we talked about that. So we're good. The program policy and appeals is still on the 20th. So we're still good there.
Yep.
And then we will have ours on the Thursday, much to Rusty's dismay, the day.
Do we have it on the 20th, Brent? Make the motion. We're already gonna be here on the 20th.
You two are all right. Hey, we can't change the motion now.
I'd like to amend the motion on the floor.
Closing discussion. We're going to vote on the motion as presented. All in favor with an aye? Aye. All opposed the same? All right, we're on the 21st. Be there, be square. We're good there. Auditor presentation we talked about. Obviously, we're good there, right, Teresa? Okay, last but not least, it looks like item E, Hillsdale Building Carpet Replacement.
From the finance committee.
Commissioner, if I may,
Yeah.
before we get into this,
Yes, sir.
I want to bring an issue to the Board of Health that I have our health officer and Teresa to reach out to our legal counsel regarding. I have an insurance relationship with one of the companies that submitted a bid for the carpet in the Hillsdale office. I'm an insurance agent, they're my customer. Depending on if they get awarded the job, I potentially may receive some increased commission, depending on how they structure the work, whether they keep it in-house or not. I wanted to make sure whether our legal counsel felt that was a conflict of interest for me to discuss that issue before it came before the board. I will say we did receive communication back from the attorney, and he does not feel that that is a conflict of interest. So, but I wanted to make sure everybody else here knew that before we got into discussing those bids.
Good, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that integrity, Commissioner Leininger, and nobody else on the board knows who that person is and has not been influenced by that. Obviously, we have no idea who your customers are. So, but I appreciate bringing that up. Our counsel did say that it was not a conflict of interest, so we're in good shape there. As a board, are we okay with Commissioner Leininger voting on?
The reason we have a low bid is because it's a low bid, regardless of who it is.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
I would agree with that too, Commissioner Mann.
I too, Mr. Chairman, appreciate Commissioner's openness. Thank you for that. And also, he is not a mushroom just came up. He has business over 25 plus years, and he's a community leader. The business, whoever he or she applied here, didn't started with him yesterday. So thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
That being said, you want to go through the
Sure.
bid right now?
Yep, I think maybe Commissioner Matthew might be interested in that. So this is the information. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's another one.
You not be sorry for that.
So this is the information we discussed this morning. So we do have 3 bidders. We originally asked for broadloom, which is this regular carpet, okay, the stuff that we are sitting on right now. And then we had one bidder that gave us both a broadloom and a carpet tile bid. And so after we had taken a look at everything last month, we said, let's get carpet tile bids from everything. So with the idea that carpet tile has certain innate properties that make it a better product in the long run in a commercial situation. So the bid that the agency is recommending is from Willowbrook Interiors, and it is the product that they list as Matrix Luminous. This is an 18-ounce tile weight product, and when you finish adding everything up, that price tag is $39,527. The product has 30-year commercial warranty. We asked the company, what is the usual length of time, and 15 to 20 years in a commercial building is pretty expected for a carpet product as far as its life span goes. They did provide us with a different product that would be a little bit less expensive, but it's polyester as opposed to nylon, and polyester doesn't wear as well. So after reviewing the tile weight and the other items in the bids, which include furniture moving and final price tags for all of these, we are recommending the Matrix Luminous. How does that compare with, for example, the next one, Country Carpets? Country Carpets, their bid is for a 17-ounce tile weight product, still nylon, but their price is higher. And for the tile. the 68,133. And then Schemmels, again, a nylon product, 22-ounce tile weight, so it is better than the 18-ounce tile weight. Final price tag of 50,318. And Schemmels price does not include any furniture moving, so we would have to arrange with county, tack on additional cost. So again, bottom line, we are recommending the Matrix Luminous product, and that bid came from Willowbrook Interiors.
All right, very good. Thank you for that. Thank you for the work put into to this. Do we have motion for the staff's recommendation?
I would make a motion to accept Willowbrook Interior quote for $39,527.
We have motion and support. Do we have further discussion?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, I'm concerned about this bid. I would have rejected it flat out. Because it's not a complete bid. If you look right there, it says floor prep will be billed separately as time and material.
Then what is that? That's on the Willowbrook?
That's on the Willowbrook one. If you look at basement area, it's there. As well as on the regarding porch. The last sentence. Okay, if you look at this page, Commissioner, it, right before you get to the Shaw hook, or it says I have included 5 choices. Floor prep will be billed separately, time and material. I have no idea how many square footage they're looking at in this replacement. Okay, so I can't compare.
Is that just for the basement area?
No, it's on the previous page as well. Okay, so you're not accepting your bid is not, this bid is not complete. As a complete bid. Okay, looking at the other 2 bids, I'm looking at multiple different square footage. What are we doing? Why the differences?
They measured,
And-
we did not.
And I have no idea how many square foot they're saying they're doing from Willowbrook.
Well, on this, it says price includes new carpet, carpet tile, adhesive, removal, disposal of existing carpet, installation carpet, carpet tile of your choice. New moldings between carpet. I mean, it goes through all the things that they're, what more floor prep is there than removal and,
You have no idea whether there's gonna be a complete underlayment.
but is that,
They may have to go in and scrape,
They may have to
scrub, or grind.
spend many hours scraping the old glue off.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry about that.
but are the other ones gonna have to do the same thing?
I would say, well, they will, but if you look at
Is
the
it
bid,
included
to
in?
me, there's a bid that's complete. I don't like the price on some of the things. The question would be is, you have built in this cost for moving furniture. Can we get a commitment that if it doesn't cost that much, or you won't charge that much? But the bid from Country Carpet has included in it that floor prep. And they've built in for the need for some sub-layment.
So Schemmels. The right here, removing disposal of existing carpet and adhesive.
Yeah, but it says that on this one too. It says price includes new carpet, carpet tile, adhesive, removal and disposal of existing carpet, installation of carpet, carpet tile of your choice of color, new moldings between carpet and existing tile, freight and taxes. So that's what I'm saying. All of that, I think your point is correct, Brett. But the thing is they are apples to apples. They don't know what's underneath that thing. But if there is this second layer of 1970s shag carpeting under there, both of them are going to have expenses that they're going to pass on to us to remove that. I don't think it's one or the other.
And these are estimates, not proposals.
Correct. I mean,
They're
they don't know.
proposals, you're bound to it. Estimates, you're not.
They're not going to know what they're going to get into. So I'm comfortable with it because I think they're all 3 under the same guidelines. Like, hey, we don't know exactly what's underneath there, and that's I think what Willowbrook is saying. God forbid there'd be something under there that we really have to, put some elbow grease into. But all 3 of them are probably going to do that. keep in mind, this
Yeah,
is,
all three of them very well will have that
yeah,
carried on, but is it in the quote? And this one isn't because it says right there, floor pot will be billed separately, so that leaves an open end. There's no final number on that. Could it potentially make $10,000? And if that's the case, then this bid goes to $49,527. But we don't know that because it's not.
but in all honesty, guys, think about this practically, right? So we're gonna, all the bids are out there. We're gonna say, Rebecca, you're gonna have to go back out, get bids again.
Well,
And essentially, in all honesty, I read this Willowbrook thing as we don't know what's under there. So we're gonna cover our butts by just throwing that out there, even though in reality, more than likely, there's not gonna be anything under there. Or if there is something under there, all three companies are gonna have to handle it the same way. So I mean, I think we're gonna have staff go through this process again, and essentially, unless you literally want them to write in the thing, whatever's under there is on our own dime. They're gonna have to put that in the contracts. Which is not gonna happen, right? So all three of them are under the same guidelines, truthfully.
well, but if you look at least the one bid here,
And to Rusty's point, it's not, if they find something, they're gonna bill us. It's gonna take us.
That's why it's an estimate, not a proposal.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, I run proposals through my business and I'm locked. They're not coming back and saying,
This is
you know, I found this, and this. It's too bad.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, well,
So I'm comfortable moving forward with the recommendation.
Brent, if you enlighten me, please, on this country carpet bid that is so complete, they're gonna clean the prep for the strip.
so they have additional some material costs. If you look down there,
Page 8,
page 5. They have even included in their quartering subfloor and stable, So you're taking care of that labor,
well, that looks to me like they're covering it up.
It looks like they're coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got,
which is cool if we need it, but if not, we're spending an extra $15,000, but
no, that's $480. Just that is $480.
right,
That's the subfloor.
yes.
That's one.
that's for materials. That's not labor.
May I ask,
But that's gotta be included in here.
limit on the grant?
Labor's coming somewhere else. I mean, that labor's in here somewhere.
Yeah,
So say that 480 is not the total price of putting that down. That's just for the material.
Right.
So
quick.
commissioners, as far as the grant goes that we're using to pay for this project, we could accept any of this. So just so that, I just want to put that out there.
we're not being financially responsible.
Yeah.
And we do
again,
try very hard to be financially responsible,
To me-
just for the record.
to me, and again, I haven't had this. I would throw the I would ask Schemmel, because as far as I'm concerned, we talked about a complete bid. Last month, we talked about the bids for the paint and what's detailed and itemized and what's not. And looking at a project like this, you say, well, it's an estimate, it's not a proposal. I'm gonna go back to that estimate and say, well, you said it was gonna be this, now you're telling me it's more, why? I have no recourse to do that with
Any of them.
either of the other estimates. With the one from Wilbur, the one from Schemmel. Again,
And also, I would say country carpets too.
no, to me, it's itemized, it's detailed. And again, the bid from Willowbrook, I have no idea how many square foot they're talking about in this estimate. How do we know that they're considering the entire up there?
Well, like
We're
Rebecca said,
putting the main level for carpet and tile. The main level.
I mean, they measured, obviously, right?
All of the companies did their own.
Did their own measure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
Well, I appreciate your concerns, Brent. Let's call the question so that we can kind of move forward. So the motion on the floor is to accept the agency's recommendation of Willowbrook for the Hillsdale carpeting. All in favor, should we do a roll call? Let's do a roll call.
Commissioner Matthew,
Accepted? Could you clear that motion? What was it?
accepting the Willowbrook bid.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Commissioner Hoffmaster?
Yes.
Commissioner Leininger?
No,
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Lanius?
All right, motion carries. Congratulations on your new carpet. Yeah, that will last for 50 years. Okay. It won't. Moving on, we are done with new business. Item 10, approve closed session minutes.
We already,
We
Oh,
are.
no, we did not.
no, we
not
didn't.
do that.
I move to approve the closed session minutes that were read to us prior to exiting closed session.
We have a motion. Do we have support?
Second.
We have motion and support. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor with an eye?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Number 11, public comment. Ashley is our only public, unfortunately. So,
It's already commented.
Dan, share a comment. She did a phenomenal job comment, by the way. Any other public comment? We'll close public comment. Moving on to adjournment.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to adjourn our February 22, 2024 meeting.
We have a motion. Do we have support? Support. We have a motion and support. All in favor with an eye? Opposed, the same. Motion carries.